How is up, everyone? And welcome back to the wonderful world of Fire Emblem Heroes. Today, we're going to do a quick and dirty analysis of the wonderful Eitri and the evil Thorr. Unfortunately, because it's an interest of saving time, there will be no talking marshmallow today. Besides which, I'm mainly just doing this to give myself a stupid reason to spend more money than I really should in this game. And that is because Eitri is a ridiculous person, and I have had great joy of watching that ridiculous monologue video. She's a very ridiculous person. Well, I mean, there's other reasons why I want to summon for her too. And plus 10. Yes, plus 10. I will show you something ridiculously horrible that only someone with an evil heart and a putrid mind would possibly do. It is so deplorable, I will even show you. But anyway, before we do that, let's talk about Eitri a little bit, okay? So Eitri has a very typical build for what you would expect from a ranged tome. Usually when it comes to ranged tomes, hey, you know, I have like something inflict attack, res -6, you know, that's the typical thing these days. And, well, since she's kind of on the slow side, we toss in a guarantee follow-up attack. That's nothing strange. But what we see in the story, her speed is like something around like the 20s or something like that. But I think it's salvageable, all thanks to the powerful skill of Divine Recreation. And that also opens up to a number of funny builds that you could do with her. But for the time being, let's go and talk about Grim Broker. So Grim Broker I like a lot because it comes with Kanto 2. Usually when it comes to ranged tomes, you are using your B slot for a funny skill called Far Trace. And with Far Trace, you kind of just like, well, I mean, you get to run away after you hit someone, but it's based off of whatever movement you have remaining. Well, with Kanto 2, you're always guaranteed to move 2 spaces away, so that can lead to some more plays and a little more safety, whereas Kanto Rem is a little on the sketchy side. But anyway, beyond that though, it's a very typical weapon. There's really nothing all that special about it. Now, what I do like though is that Divine Recreation. That thing is absolutely humorous. I absolutely love this thing. So first things first, it says start of combat. So if blah 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 blah. But the most important thing is it doesn't specify if it's player or enemy phase. So what that means is I can go ahead and slap on like close foil on Eitri and be like, oh, hey, now I have a tank-like character. You know, it makes sense because Eitri actually has stats distributed into other places. And with the idea that you -4 to all foes' stats, you can actually have a decently salvageable speed. If you hang around with your friends, you can go ahead and stack on a lot of speed. And if not, it's okay. You can go on the attack as well if you still use Grim Broker. Or you could sacrifice a Valentine's Alphonse and get yourself that funny thing, that -5 attack res, if I believe correctly. Unity Blooms, I think. And you also get a cute little heal, which I thought to be most amusing. And then you don't have to worry about, you know, be not adjacent to an ally or something silly like that. I would still say Grim Broker is probably better overall, but having like 4 HP heal every time you like get in the scrap is actually pretty cool. I like that a lot, and you can make a pretty decent tank out of her. But beyond that, she's really not that special. I'm only really summoning her because, you know, well, she's a funny character. And I guess she could be kind of useful being, you know, one of those legendary heroes that pairs up with people. That'll help me score pretty decently in Allegiance battles. But other than that, unless they release more modes that uses these, I'd say, bleh. But you know, that face is just absolutely beautiful. I can never tire of this face. And I hope that one of these days they make legendary heroes a little more available for Aether raids. Having to wait like every 2 weeks to use a certain element is such a pain in the ass. But next up, this is the main reason why I need to summon her. Not because she has massive boobs and she acts like an asshole half the time, No, it's really just because of practical purposes. So Thor is mainly just because of Worldbreaker. I couldn't give two shits about War God's Mjolnir. That's not something that I really care about. Like literally, I could just remove that and just slap on Worldbreaker and put her in one of my silly armor teams, and she'll be okay. Another bonus that she has is that she's an Astra Mythic. So being an Astra Mythic, I've been looking for an excuse to plus 10 an Astra Mythic that I will use all the time. And since this one gives me an extra slot, I pretty much have to use her all the time. So if she has a pretty decent BST, I can also put her to work in her own Mjolnir Strike battle. So that being said, I think I'm going to put quite a bit of... Honestly, I really don't want to spend that much money, but I think I'm going to have to, because this time around, this is actually a pretty decent setup for me. Like, Eitri is just for fun, but this is really, really good. And since they share the color, you know, what can I do? I guess I'm just going to have to plus 10 that one. So, with War God's Mjolnir, I think that, like I said, it's really just the whole plus 6, minus 6 funny thing. Plus, minus 6, blah, 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 blah. Same shit that Eitri's weapon have. I suppose having extra attack on your own person could be decent, depending on what kind of skill you use. Bonfire, though? Something that scales with attack would be better. Also, that would also mean that I would take a little more damage from the likes of Ruptured Sky, but, you know, whatever, dude. It's really not that big a difference. But hey, look, another guaranteed follow-up attack. Oh, what's this? And if you're not adjacent to an ally, I even get to negate their bonuses. That's cute. I mean, I've seen some builds that uses bonuses again, and since Ascendant Legiorn is a bonus character, I think that being able to nullify it is pretty nice. In the end of the day, you're going to want to do some of that from time to time. And now you just got to figure out a way to not give them too much power when you debuff them, if they run like something like Unity or something like that. But really, it doesn't really matter. The most important thing is just that it does that, effective against armor, and that's about it. It's a very stock standard weapon from anything in like the 3rd year and above. But really, honestly, like, the only reason why she's going to be anywhere is because of Worldbreaker. Like, seriously though, special cooldown charge +1 per attack. That's breath right there to everyone. No need to worry about my class anymore. Usually, you know, this job is done through the likes of Lucina. Well, now I don't have to use up my valuable Astra slot for Lucina. Instead, I could use it for something else. So it really would help me with my points a lot to have a character that constantly have +10 and will always be on my Astra team because of that extra slot that I can get. That way I can provide some other support, say from a healer that gives that uses a Tannin Baton and gives guard to all my units. Very handy. There's a lot of fun and useful things you can do as long as your slot's not used up with some other horrible mythic or Lucina. I mean, not that Lucina's bad or anything. It's just that, you know, I could use some other combo for my valuable space that I have now freed up thanks to having Thor on my team. Normally, like I said, I would not spend that much money, but this time around, it's a pretty decent deal, and I really could use some extra points in my Aether raid, so I would have to show you something extremely deplorable very, very soon. Anyway, so there's my Flow Guard. Yeah, Flow Guard is actually really nice as a fodder. I think it's best for, like, cavalry that, like, doesn't have much in terms of their B slots. What do cavalry have? Cavalry have lulls that they can use. They have, like, Lols. Honestly, that I can't even think of like anything else besides the stock standard Desperation and the other stuff like that. Flow Guard is really nice. Much better than Flow Refresh with the 10 HP. 10 HP is nice, but you know what? I would much prefer having Guard on all my characters. And now my Assault type characters can use that, but I'm not going to sacrifice Thor anyway, so it's okay, whatever. I might end up summoning extra copies of her, then we can talk about sacrificing her. But for the time being, I think I will just go ahead and not do that, and plus 10 my Thor, get my World Breaker, and it seems like, you know, unlike Lucina's funny thing is, you can do this for attack as well. You can initiate combat, you still get bonuses from World Breaker. Like, this is amazing, absolutely wonderful. This is just what I needed. And it just so happens that this silly banner features Daggar. Daggar is the axe. Daggar is light. And now I can also score plus 10 on my light Aether raids. And now I must show you something horrible. Something so vile that, as aforementioned, is only something that someone with a black heart and a putrid mind is capable of doing. Allow me to show you. Sorry, there's not much music for today's display of evil. But you see, today's the last day of getting 4 times points for purchases. They skillfully did this so that I would have to make sure that I either get enough orbs or I don't get the extra points. So it's one of these things where I'm like, oh, God damn it. It's just one fucking day. Couldn't you at least wait? So now I have no choice but to probably spend more money than I should to plus 10 these guys. I say maybe 2,000 orbs is enough. So you're gonna sit and watch me do this until I get 2,000 orbs. That's how horrible of a person I am. See, I don't owe anyone like over 1 million yen. That's not a problem for me because I have money that, you know, I made. And since I actually have my own money, I don't have to worry about owing money to my wife. I don't have to worry about stealing money from my wife and then putting myself in the debt despite that. No. I'm okay because I make my own money. I've recently just did like a good business transaction that promises to yield a lot of money. So spending money like this from time to time is really no big deal for me. In fact, I probably will end up spending more money on a silly, on that silly Christmas banner. Oh, crap. What happened? Oh, crap. I bet my credit card company is like, what are you doing? Are you sure you want to do this? Is that even right? I hope that's not what they did. Because that's, I have to go and contact them and all that. And I'm in the middle of, like, doing the bad thing right now. Okay, alright. So something went wrong on their end. Maybe it just broke for a second. It's okay. No problem. No big deal. There you see? Everything's okay again. I can go back to spending money to get myself over 2,000 orbs. No problem at all. Though after this and the Christmas thing, I'll probably just go back to like summoning ascendants, like every time they pop up, and get myself some green flowers. Or once I get bored of that, get some red flowers, because my yellow flowers and my what's the other color? I don't even use all that much. Yeah, my yellow's cavalry and my flyer. I suppose I would end up using quite a bit of flyers than my blue flowers. I might because of Thor and Eitri, but they're new, so I only gonna plus 5 them. So, yeah, man. See, look at this. Like, even this thing is like, you know, you really shouldn't spend the money like that. You don't want to do the bad thing. You don't want to be like this. But, what can I say? I'm a horrible person. Honestly, not quitting this game is probably a bad thing for me. I still have lingering interest in the game. And it's not like Genshin has been really filling my interest all that much. I do find the idea, though, to put, like, more work that I need to in a single day to be kind of a nuisance. I sometimes don't even play each day because I find the idea of making this into work not exactly all that enticing. You know, there's a reason why I've been kind of like not making many Fire Emblem Heroes videos and such like that, because I just want to like play games. I play games in general. I don't play like one thing at a time. I play like many different things. Yes, it hurts my YouTube. Yes, it makes me, quote-unquote, less relevant in Fire Emblem Heroes. But you know what? I don't give a shit. Because I'm a gamer. And I just want to play games. I don't want to get tied down to one thing. Maybe there's a bit of commitment issues on that. But, well, as you can see, I've even gone past 2,000. Just to make sure, you know, just to show that I'm the type of person who can do something like this without batting an eye. And give you a little bit of a monologue of my own, just like Eitri. My new favorite hero, who has massive brain damage. And it's definitely my new Allegiance champion. Anyway, that's about it for our little, adventures. I thank you all for watching. And soon I will summon. Until then.